rivalry meet. In a fixture with more at stake than ever before. Decided over 2 legs in 3 weeks in one city. It's Derby Day, Super Classico, the first and possibly only ever as a Copa Libertadores Final. I can't believe I'm saying that.
November 2018, 2 buses were on their way to El Monumental for the biggest final in Copa Libertadores history, but only one of them made it intact. Tear gas, broken glass, injured players, and a match so chaotic, CONMEBOL had to move it 10,000 kilometers away to Madrid. How did the most violent Copa Libertadores final of all time unfold? This wasn't the first time River Plate and Boca Juniors faced off, and it definitely wasn't the first time it turned violent. For over a century, Argentina's biggest derby, El Super Clasico, has delivered chaos. In 1968, a tragedy at El Monumental left 71 fans crushed to death after a violent clash in the stands. In 1994, Boca and River's Libertadores semi-final had to be stopped as players brawled and police fired tear gas. In 2004, another Copa Libertadores meeting ended in a mass fight after River fans threw pepper spray on Boca players during the quarterfinal. Between 1931 and 2018, Boca and River had already played each other 240-plus times, with 80-plus red cards and dozens of matches abandoned due to crowd trouble. This was not Argentina versus Netherlands, a World Cup rivalry across decades. This was far more intimate. 2 clubs who share the same city, the same neighborhoods, even the same families, but absolutely hate each other. And in 2018, the football gods decided to take this century of hatred and put it on the biggest stage South America had to offer, the Copa Libertadores Final. And as you'll see, this wasn't just a match. This final was so violent, so scandalous, it had to be moved 6,000 miles away, all the way to Madrid. On paper, this was meant to be a dream. For the first time ever, River Plate and Boca Juniors were meeting in a Copa Libertadores final, but instead of being remembered as South America's answer to El Clasico in Europe, it turned into a nightmare. On November 24th, 2018, Boca's team bus rolled towards El Monumental, River's home ground, to play the decisive second leg. But as it approached the stadium, chaos erupted. Hundreds of River fans surrounded the bus. Bottles, bricks, sticks, everything they could throw rained down on the windows. Some Boca players were literally injured by broken glass. Others were gasping for air as police tear gas, meant to control the crowd, leaked into the bus. Inside, Boca's stars were in shock. Carlos Tevez struggled to breathe. Pablo Perez had shards of glass in his eye. The team doctor begged officials to postpone the game. But incredibly, CONMEBOL tried to push forward. They delayed kickoff once, twice, 3 times. Hours passed as fans inside the stadium grew restless, waiting. For a moment, it felt like history was repeating itself. South American football once again caught between its beauty and its violence. Eventually, the decision came. The match could not be played. And this is where the scandal got bigger. Because this wasn't just about postponing. CONMEBOL soon made a decision that stunned the football world. December 9th, 2018. The Santiago Bernabeu wasn't just hosting a match. It was hosting a war exported across the Atlantic. The opening minutes? Tight, cautious. Every challenge carried the weight of a century-long rivalry. The referee, Andrés Cunha, tried to set the tone early, but he was about to lose control of history's most scandalous Libertadores final. In the 27th minute, Boca's first big chance, Nahitan Nández drove through midfield, slipped Dario Benedetto in behind. One-on-one with Franco Armani, Benedetto hesitated. Armani smothered, but Benedetto wasn't done. Just before halftime, in the 44th minute, Nández again threaded the needle. Benedetto sprinted through, this time feinted past Armani and slotted home. Boca 1-0. Then came the smirk. As Benedetto jogged back, he turned to Gonzalo Montiel, curled his lip in a grin, mocking him. That wasn't just a goal. That was gasoline poured on a century of fire. But if Benedetto thought that grin sealed Boca's destiny, he had no idea what River were about to unleash. The second half began with River pressing higher, biting into every tackle. In the 68th minute, it paid off. Ignacio Fernandez combined with Lucas Prato, and Prato buried it low into the corner. From there, the Bernabeu became a cauldron. Every foul was met with screams. Cards flew, Boca legs looked heavier. Full time, still level. Extra time was coming, and that's when violence and fatigue decided the final. Just 4 minutes in, Boca's Wilmar Barrios lunged wildly into a tackle. Straight red, Boca down to 10 men. River sensed blood, and in the 109th minute, the dagger came. Juan Fernando Quintero, fresh off the bench, drifted onto the edge of the box. Left foot, boom, off the bar and in. One of the greatest Libertadores goals ever. 2-1 River. Boca were shattered, but they weren't done swinging. In stoppage time, even goalkeeper Esteban Andrada went up for a corner. It was chaos. The ball was cleared, and suddenly Gonzalo "Pity" Martinez was free. He sprinted the length of the pitch, no keeper in sight, slotted into the empty net. 3-1. The Copa Libertadores, South America's ultimate prize, was decided not in Buenos Aires, but 10,000 kilometers away, in Real Madrid's backyard. As the whistle blew, River lifted the trophy, the greatest triumph in their history, and the darkest stain on CONMEBOL's, a final so violent, so out of control, it had to be stolen from its own continent. But the question remains, was this the peak of football's greatest rivalry, or proof that South America's chaos had finally become too big to contain?